I've got a feeling that keeps on bothering me. And it's not because things are not the way they used to be. I know nothing lasts forever and few things remain the same. And there are many things about this world of ours that really needed to change. I think the thing that disturbs me most as I travel about in Rome is the many people I'm meeting every day who's mentally not at home. People are looking at each other and talking, but their minds are someplace else. And the pressures of life has gotten so hard that some of us are walking around talking to ourselves. Like the lady that kept saying, now how can I do that, in the market the other day, but who nearly jumped right out of her skin and gave me the strangest look when I said, you'll find a way. Now she had been standing near the frozen food counter, dressed very nice and neat. She had been looking straight in my direction, but I realized she was talking to a package of meat. Then I drove next to an automobile one day, but before I'd gone very far, I noticed the man at the wheel smiling and chatting away, but I still said there was nobody else in that car. I ran into an old classmate of mine downtown and told her about a friend of ours that had recently passed away. And when I paused for her comment, she looked at me and said, yes, it is a beautiful day. Now she had been standing right next to me, nodding her head. But I knew she didn't understand what I had just told her because it was obvious she hadn't heard a word I said. Then I went and talked to a friend of mine about it, and while I was sitting there, she said, honey, old folk have always acted that way. But right then, she was putting her car keys in the Frigidaire. Now maybe she keeps them there all the time, or maybe they work better when they're nice and cold. I just know there must be a logical explanation for it, because that particular friend is certainly not old. And then with all these strange things happening on Earth, some of the scientists seem to think we're being visited from the stars. And then a little man about 4 feet tall walked up to me on the street and told me that he was from Mars. Now he may have been kidding me, but he had a hump in his back, and believe me, only a mother could love that face. Now I was near a department store, so don't ask me where he went, because I almost made a new door in the place. Now maybe I shouldn't be talking to you about this. I may sound like the world's biggest dunce, but the feeling that keeps on bothering me is that the whole nation is acting like we have all had a nervous breakdown at once.